Hey, good morning, everybody. I forgot my marker here. Walter Badgeron here with The Driving Force. This morning I want to talk about something that's really come up a lot in all of our businesses, and that is really mindset, your mental condition that affects everything that you do. It affects everything in your business, affects your attitude, affects how the day progresses, affects the goals that you're setting for you in your business. And so, I really want to make sure that we're all on the same page, that we do understand that in order to make your effort as an elite entrepreneur as effective as you can, we need to realize that our minds are profoundly influenced by the input that we allow ourselves to permeate, to put into our minds. And whether that input is intentional or not, we're still wildly influenced by all that input that we receive as entrepreneurs day in and day out. Now, I know it's probably not what you expect to hear as part of business growth, but look, it's so critical to making this ability for you to grow as effective and successful that I want to make sure that you get at least nothing else, get a quick refresher on how to make sure that you accomplish everything you want, all that you want, by enabling yourself to focus only on what's most important for you so you get where you want to go. And I want to give you the tools to dispose of any of the trash that is disguised in the forms of input that you're getting into your head. Now, I'm no psychiatrist. I've got no medical education whatsoever, but I do know about the types of input that we as entrepreneurs receive, and it falls in two main categories. It falls into intentional input and unintentional input. Now, these are pretty much self-described, right? I mean, unintentional is, of course, just as the word describes it. You don't know it's coming in. You're not intending to put it in there. And intentional is the things that we go out and get. And so I want to just make sure that you have a deliberate control of what you allow into your mind that you're allowing in. And it takes a certain level of discipline that you need to exercise. But first thing you need to do is you need to be aware of what the input is. You need to be aware of what is good, what is intentional, and what is bad, and what's intentional. And so you also need to be aware of what's unintentional, good and bad, the things that we're allowing into our brains that we need to be aware of. So I want you to be able to shield your mind against the unintentional and the hurtful things that go in. There was a quick story. There was a time in our industrial repair business when we were getting equipment that was shutting down an entire industrial plant, like a huge multi-million square foot production facility was being shut down by something so small. There was a tiny sliver of metal that had fallen into an electrical control box, shorted out the entire control box, shut down the conveyor system, which in turn shut down the entire production of the entire facility, costing these large industrial plants millions and millions of dollars every single hour. And all caused by tiny slivers of metal that have fallen into an electrical control box. And I look at that piece of metal, that piece of tiny little thing, as negative input being fed into your brain on a daily basis, because it really can. That little bit of negativity can amplify everything that goes on within your thoughts for the day, your actions for the day, your own mental mood, your attitude, which controls everything that goes on in your business. So I want you to be aware. I want you to think about how you allow intentional and unintentional input into your mind. The first thing I want to talk about is any kind of conversations you're having, conversations with others, conversations with yourself, conversations that are going on at all times, and you are either allowing them into your brain by having these conversations yourself, or unintentionally just listening to these conversations. They can be from family, friends, employees, your colleagues, or any other source of information that's coming into your head. So be aware that conversations, both intentional and unintentional, can be that little sliver of metal that shuts down your entire production of your day. The next thing I want you to be aware of is media. Media. All those things that you're listening to, whether it could be your email, could be TV, could be radio, could be newspaper, could be the news on your phone or tablet, could be the books that you're allowing in, could be any form of media that allows information in, whether it's intentional, unintentional. Those things affect the production of your business and the production of your mental condition that you're fully in control of. You control the intentional and unintentional input. You just have to be aware of it first and foremost. And then the next thing we want to do is we want you to look for advertisements. television, radio, billboards, ads on your phone or tablet. All those things can be terribly negative. I mean, the ones about all the physical and mental ailments and medication that comes out, those are horrible. I think those things, just listening to them, I feel like I'm sick when that happens. And so I turn those things off as quickly as I can, because that's a little metal flake that's going to shut down my entire operation here if I let that in. And then the last thing I want to do is, well, not last thing, but another thing I want to talk about is stories. Any kind of stories that you're hearing, any kind of information from your spouse, any kind of information from your employees, any kind of books or audio books or education you're doing, those stories affect how you perceive your own life. You listen to positive stories, you think about your life in positive ways. You hear a bunch of negative stories, you think about life in negative ways. And the last thing I want to do is I want to make sure that you understand that any of your activities, all those things affect your mental condition. Get up, pound a bunch of pancakes and waffles and really heavy things, man, you're going to shut your entire system down for the whole day. You get up, do some exercise. You get up, start doing some walk outside and greet the sun. Make sure that you're up before the sun. All those things, get outside. All those things affect how your day goes. So know that you get to put intentional and unintentional input into your brain through the activities that you do as well. So anyway, I just wanted you to be aware that now you can see all those things that go into how you control your mental stability, your mental condition for the day. Don't let those metal slivers get in there and shut down your entire production. All right, guys, thanks so much for listening today. We'll talk soon. Bye.